Tonight is going to be a blast. If it is one of your first nights with us, stoked to have you. Let me just check. I've unshared my screen. We're good. We're here. There we go. Live on Facebook as well. Guys, so good to have international family with us. I saw we got stacks from New Zealand and even from Canada. And I know we're going to have plenty of people watching this recording later. But tonight, we are really excited to have one of our own, one of our locals, Mr. Michael Jacobsen, joining us. For those of you who don't know who this man is, he's been a part of our community here for a couple of years, but he's been in the trading space, managing funds, working with banks for over 20 years. And so it's always a pleasure to have him on with us. Right before we bring him on, we actually have another special guest after him as well, who's going to drop a ton of value and an amazing story. Really excited for you to hear from that individual. Guys, before we get into that, if you're new here and you've never seen this before, my name is Ty. I'm based here in Auckland, New Zealand, and I got started in this online space learning how to get my money to work for me 2.5 years ago. I was pretty fed up with my financial situation, knew something had to change, had a burning desire to create freedom for my own life and my family and then those around me. And so that's how our community was born. I jumped in. I had a friend that was part of our online learning academy over in Canada, who I grew up with here in New Zealand. He jumped in. He did amazing in his first year. After a year, he shared it with me. I dived in, started learning, and within a few months, I was making some very real money on my phone, and I couldn't shut up about it after that. I'd never made thousands of dollars on my phone before. I'd spent thousands on things, but it was different making money, right? So if you're keen for more freedom in your life this year in 2024, drop freedom in the chat, because that's what we're here for. I am obsessed with that, and I want to see as many people step into freedom this year than ever before. And freedom for me means a few things. It means spiritual freedom, mental, emotional, physical, and also financial. But guys, for you to step into that freedom, for you to step into abundance, this is my little word for you guys today, is that you've got to stop focusing on lack and what you don't have and start getting really clear on what you do have and be grateful for it, and then start to visualize the life that you do want to have. You've got to have a big burning vision for your life and what it looks like to live in that abundant realm, live in a space where you're able to, give and be generous and live with a life of impact. And when you can get clear on that and you can get emotionally connected to that best future version of your life, watch how things shift and change. Then when you make a decision and commit to that, John C. Maxwell has an amazing quote. If you don't know who he is, he's one of the top leadership coaches on the planet. He's written about he's written about 70 books on leadership, I believe, at this point. But he has this quote where he says, "Until I am fully committed, there is a hesitancy or a chance that I might draw back. But when I commit and I fully commit, then God and all of creation starts to conspire towards me achieving that which I've set my heart to." And so once you actually fully commit to these things, the vision and the goals that you have inside of your heart, you fully commit. Like, guys, I'll say this is not the year to pick up an extra random hobby like knitting or something else that you might like that is not going to create the life that you're after. I can tell you now, like Tony Robbins, plenty of other people out there that are far smarter and experienced than me are all screaming about the fact that AI and other factors in the economy are going to create a very, very different future, not just in 5 and 10 years time, 2-3 years time. Life is going to look very different for a lot of people. And so we're on a mission here to help as many people figure out their finance, figure out another way to create those multiple streams of income so that you're not sideswiped. I mean, think about this. I mean, I was having a conversation with someone recently about this. It's like AI has already completely demolished some people. Graphic designers. I studied some of that when I was young, but I mean, right now you can go to ChatGPT and ask it to generate you some images. I mean, I had digital marketers pitch me $5,000 programs for a month where they'd manage and post and do social media stuff for me. I found an app that does it for $15 a month. And so already AI is accelerating. And so depending on what your role is, what your job is, or maybe you're just showing up and you want to create maybe an investment portfolio, you want to create legacy wealth, or you want to create right now money, whatever your goals are, there's a way in this space for you to lean into that, learn from professionals, get onto that pathway and start to grow. So if you're ready to grow, then you're in the right place tonight. Or if you're watching this recording, buckle up, here we go. And so guys, without further ado, I want to say one more thing. Massive, massive welcome to all of our new team members that have gotten started, not just in the last 24 hours, but really this month is one of our first Zooms tonight for the year. We've had dozens and dozens and dozens of new, wonderful, hungry people decide to take their 2024 seriously. And so huge welcome to all of you. I cannot name names because I'll forget someone, but just so excited for you guys launching this year, deciding to make 2024 the year of 2020 more, which is for you going to be more breakthrough, more growth, and more abundance, and no longer more of the same. And so guys, with that, without further ado, join me in welcoming our amazing, amazing Michael Jacobsen to the screen this evening. Guys, again, if you do not know who this man is, lean forward, get a notepad. Like I said, he's been in the space for over 20 years, worked in banks, managed funds, he's educated, his personal trading education course was about $5,000 plus to mentor people for a few months. And so he's part of our community. He saw the value in IM and what we're all doing together and chose to partner with us here. And so always a huge privilege to have you on with us, Mike. So I'm going to pin you to the screen and just thank you, bro. Like, thank you so much. At the drop of a hat, messaged you yesterday. I was like, hey man, how about we do a call on crypto and help some more people figure out this stuff? So thank you at the drop of a hat for saying yes, showing up as always with, I know is going to be a ton of value. So I'm going to jump out the way and just say, take it away, man. I know you've got plenty of insights, plenty of different things you can share. And I'm leaning forward. I've got my pen and I'm ready. So thanks, bro. Let's go.
Yeah, absolutely, Ty. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, crypto has been an amazing journey for me. And obviously, for those of you here tonight, that's the sort of thing you want to hear about. You want to understand what's going on. And I was actually in Indonesia back in 2017 and I've been trading for a number of years already, but never really understood what crypto was about. And one of my friends in Jakarta had invested in a few things and caught my interest. And I just realized, look, this is something that's new that I think is going to change a lot. And so I started putting a lot of time and a lot of money in, a lot of research, understanding what does this world look like. And obviously from there, the rest is history. We've seen incredible growth. We've seen massive transformation of entire industries around this brand new technology that is revolutionary. And what I'm going to share tonight is a little bit of an overview of what's going on, where it's going, and why you actually need to be involved, and a very good illustration which is going to help you see why you need to be. Now, Ty, if you can let me share my screen, I'm just going to share something from someone who I think is one of the most incredible people in this space. Now, this person, I'm going to share a tweet from this person. Now, this person is a mentor and advisor to billionaires all over the world. He also runs his own hedge fund. He used to work for Goldman Sachs, which is one of the banks that rules the world. And he mentors also the leaders and founders and CEOs of hedge funds, and is considered the top macro advisor in the world. So he's an incredible guy. I've learned a lot from him. And one day I saw this chart that he tweeted, and this is what it said. It was a chart comparing the growth of the internet to the growth of blockchain. Basically said the crypto space, his name is Raoul Pal, the crypto space is growing at 113% per year in terms of users. Even if it slows down to the 63% growth rate of network adoption internet saw at the same stage, it's going to lead to 4 billion users by 2030 or before. Now, what he's saying very basically there is that crypto has been growing at double the rate of the internet. Now, back when the internet started, and this just sort of just gives a good context for the foundation of which has led to where we are now. That was the most incredible technology that had ever existed at that time. And crypto is now growing at twice the rate and is increasing even more. So by 2030, which is only 6 years away, 4 billion people, or half the planet, will be using crypto and blockchain, which involves crypto technology or cryptocurrencies. Now, the other thing we also know, the other reason why we know this is happening is because every major bank in the world is openly creating their own crypto platforms and pouring billions of dollars into their technology. Now, I used to work at Westpac, I used to work at ANZ, and when you change the technology in the technological infrastructure in a bank, we did it one time and it cost about 300 million with Westpac. And they said, look, when we do it right, when we do it once, we do it right, because that new infrastructure will last for a generation. So the big infrastructure changes they make are for a generation, which is 30 to 40 years. So every major bank in the world is currently pouring all their resources into growing out their blockchain, crypto trading, digital trading space, because they know it's the future, because they can look at a chart like this and say, wow, this revolutionary technology that has never existed before is now growing at double the rate of the internet. But there's something far more important, which I hope will frame your understanding of where crypto is going, because Raoul Pal talks about, at the moment, the world is coming to this zenith of progress. What do I mean by that? We have the recent introduction to the mainstream of artificial intelligence. We have digital currencies. We have augmented reality. We have virtual reality. We have electric vehicles, we have this zenith or this intersection of all these incredible technological innovations at the same time. Now, if you simply think of AI, how that can be integrated with seamless digital payments, it's easy to understand the growth in that. When you think about when you think about virtual reality, as far as gaming is concerned, and the digital way that cryptocurrencies can be transacted in gaming as a single point of use case, the growth could be incredible. So we have all these technologies rising at the same time, and they all are digital networks. They're all digital. So, for example, electric vehicles over time are going to be plugged into your digital wallet. So instead of paying when you go over a bridge later, it just automatically reads off the wallet while you're driving your car. Every payment will be digital, and it will be transacted digitally. So what he's saying is we have this exponential age of technologies and innovations rising, and it's going to cause this incredible growth in technology. Now, if this technology is predicated upon on digital platforms, then digital currencies will be used. And that's why we're going to see this incredible adoption and this exponential growth of cryptocurrency in the next little while. Now, I'm going to share something with you that I hope will be clear. I'm just going to share a different screen, because when we look at cryptocurrencies, when you look at a chart, you might see it might be very different to what you actually understand about value. Let me just share this one thing here, and one more share. One share. Okay. So when we look at a chart, this is Bitcoin. And how many of you have seen this chart? Just put a 1 in the chat if you've seen this chart, if you've recognized this is Bitcoin. This is the high up here around the $68,000 mark. Put a 1 in the chat if you've seen this before. Okay. So when we look at a chart like Bitcoin, we can see very, very simply that back in 2017, Bitcoin was all the way down here. We had a massive run in price, bit of a pullback, and then a huge explosion in price. Now, the interesting thing about understanding the future value of cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology is that blockchain technology, which is what cryptocurrencies are predicated upon, are all founded upon networks. They're all founded upon networks, which is something that's super important to understand. Now, let me just clear some of these. What I'm going to do is just move this up here and just move that out of here, out of the way. Okay, there we go. So when you look at a chart, this is what you see. Now, you can see that we have highs in price, we have lows in price. But when you look at a chart like this, it's very, very hard to see a progressive trend. So how do we know that there is definitely a strong trend in this technology? Now, if we look at any sort of network growth, there's only one way that we can reliably understand if it's going to have incredible value in the future. And what we do is we use something called log scale. Now, this is not going to be technical, but it's going to help you understand where we're going. This is currently what Bitcoin looks like today. But every economist in the world, when they chart value, especially when we look at, if we want to understand the future value of something to see if the trend is going to be upwards over an extended period of time, we use something called log scale or logarithmic scale. And that allows us to understand the growth based on percentages to see if there's a clear trend. So it uses percentage values rather than linear values. And if we change this to a log scale and zoom out, what we see is, once we move X this off the screen, is we see a much stronger trend in Bitcoin from 2014 to where we are today. As you can see, it has respected the lower boundaries of that logarithmic scale, because that's what happens when you use a log chart. So I'm just going to read out why networks actually thrive when you understand that they should be valued off log charts. So basically, the more people that are connected, or more people or devices that are connected to a network, so for example, blockchain, the more valuable that network becomes. And so what happens is you get an exponential growth in that network, which means an exponential rise in value. So once you get a critical inflection point in that network, the network effect kicks in and growth follows an exponential rather than a linear trajectory. So if we come back and look at this chart, that's basically, it's a linear model. It's based off normal value. It doesn't truly reflect the strength of the trend. But if we use logarithmic scale, which is what economists use, and which is what macro investors use, we can see that this network effect has been very, very strong for the past 8 years because it has followed a very, very strong trend. Now, what you can see is that because this linear graph works so well, we can clearly define the upper and lower boundaries of the price. Now, this is percentage based. So what does it say about Bitcoin in the future? Well, what it actually says is that sometime in the future, Bitcoin could potentially be somewhere up in the 350,000 to 500,000 point. Now, that might not happen this year, but based on the last 8 years, that's exactly what happened, which is incredible. So this is the sort of chart that economists use to understand the strength of a trend with regards to a network. And blockchain are networks. Ethereum is a network. So let's look at Ethereum. It's exactly the same. So this is Ethereum on a linear chart. Let's put the log chart on. And it's also very, very clear trend. It's a strong trend. And we're going to look for our first intersection point for price at the midline at somewhere around 13,000, and over time potentially up in the higher boundaries up here. So that's incredible. And these are what networks are. When one person connects to the network, that opens another network, and so you have this exponential growth. And so that's the reason why Raoul Pal made that comment that this is growing at twice the rate of the internet, because it has a network effect. The more people that are connected to the network, it grows exponentially, which is unbelievable. So that's super exciting because that tells us where this thing could potentially be going. Now, something else that is super interesting with regards to crypto is that, you know, a lot of you have heard about a number of different projects. You know, there's a number of different coins you can follow. There's a number of different projects that are very, very interesting. So what would be the best thing to buy? Because if we look back at the internet, we can see that there were thousands and thousands of new websites that were developed with the internet bubble, but most of them went to zero. So why did they go to zero? Well, it was because they had no solid real value. They had no strong infrastructure that was going to have a use case for the future. So what should you do? Well, a great way to look at the crypto space with the thousands and thousands of different currencies, different projects, different companies, what should you do? Well, there's a very, very good way to look at it. If you have money and you went to a retail shop, would it be better to buy the product? Or if you had the money, would it be better to buy the shop? Put an S if you think you should buy the shop, if it's better over time, if there's more value, or put a P in the chat if you would buy the product. Would it be better to buy the product once, or would it be better to buy the shop once if you could afford it? Put in the chat, S for shop, P for product. All right, I think everyone gets this because it's pretty clear. There's no P's. You want to buy the shop because that's the infrastructure that's facilitating the growth of the product. So when you want to look at all these different projects and someone might come to you and say, hey, I bought this new coin. Hey, it might make money. That's great. A lot of people have made a lot of money from buying coins that mean nothing. That's okay. But if we are going to look at logarithmic growth and realize that, you know, 3 to 5 years time, this thing could be worth 20x what it is now, which is what Raoul Pal is saying, then why would you want to buy the product once, then over the infrastructure? So what I'm saying is, when we look back at the internet and we see the Amazons, the Googles, the Yahoos, the big infrastructural players that facilitated the growth of that new industry for the next 20 years, look at the value of those companies now compared to the one-off websites you could have bought back when the internet bubble occurred. Like the difference in value is, like night and day. So I always encourage people, when you do your research, go deeper and look at the players, the projects, the infrastructure that is being built around this space, which is going to last for decades. It could be more beneficial to invest in the infrastructure rather than a one-off meme coin, rather than, a coin that your brother tells you should buy because it's going up and everyone's buying it. Why not focus on the infrastructure? Because that is what's going to last. Years ago, I was involved in construction, and we built a lot of houses, a lot of high-end homes. And we spent a lot of time, most of our time on the house was building the foundation. And in fact, I remember when the Sky Tower in New Zealand was being built, and there was this massive hole in the ground for 20 months. And all they're doing is laying steel and pouring in concrete. And when I used to work for actually Westpac in New Zealand, my office was on Queen Street, which is the main street in New Zealand. And on the other side of the road, they spent about 20 months destroying one of the large buildings there, and they were going to build a brand new skyscraper in its place. And that place also had a big hole in the ground for about probably 15, 16 months. And every day I would watch probably 20, 30, 40 concrete trucks come and pour their concrete into that hole, and nothing happened. And then all of a sudden one day, there was a building that popped out of that hole. And then very, very quickly, floor upon floor, floor upon floor. And within 6 months, the entire building, the structure had been built. But there was months and months and months and months poured into building the foundation, because that's the infrastructure that's going to cause that building to last for a long period of time. So when we look at crypto and blockchain right now, what is the infrastructure that's going to cause crypto to still be here and still be solid and still be a good investment in 5, 10, 15 years? That's the sort of stuff you want to look at, because that's the sort of stuff that's going to last. So very, very good point to think about. The shop or the product. And, how many of you guys remember when texting came out? Back in, I think it was the early 2000s. How many of you had your Nokia 3310? And how many of you tried to teach your grandma how to text and failed? Okay, put a Y if you had to teach someone, maybe your grandma, maybe your granddad, maybe it was your mum, maybe it's, maybe it was someone else, how to use this phone. Like, how do I text? What do I do? Oh, 3210, 3310, whatever they were. Okay, so think about this. If you do not take the initiative to understand that this is the future on every level, then you could potentially be that grandmother who you love so much. You could be that grandmother who is going to be asking people in 10 years, can you please teach me how to work in the crypto space? I just don't understand this crypto. Please show me, how do I open a wallet? How do I buy? How do I function in this space? If you don't get on board and begin to learn, you could be that person in 3, 4, 5 years time. And by that point, we've moved on to something bigger and greater. So where will you be in 3 to 5 years time if you don't understand how this is working? You don't want to be that person who doesn't know how to text, so to speak, in this crypto space in the next 3 to 5 years. You want to understand how it works. You want to understand how it can work to your advantage, how to play, how to profit, how to learn, how to grow, how to build in this entire crypto space. So I hope that frames you a very, very good understanding of where we've come from, where we are now, this zenith of innovative technology. Everything's coming together. Where it's going as far as the banks are concerned, as far as everything will be functioning on digital platforms forever. That's where it's all going. Are you going to be that person who's asking people to teach you how to do it when the ship's already left? Or are you going to be on board with that ship, and are you going to be, enjoying the ride? So there's a couple of points. I hope that's been helpful for you. It's been helpful for me and a lot of people in our community. And that's why we're on board learning how to function in this space, learning how to be a part of it, and learning how to make it work for us. So Ty, I'll give it back to you. I know that you've got Eddie who's going to share some amazing stuff with us about how people can take advantage of this. So I'll give it back to you.
Bro, Thank you. Oh my goodness, guys. Drop some love in the chat for Mike, man. Thanks so much for sharing all of that with us. Like I know there's so much more behind all that, but thank you for keeping that simple at the same time profound. Like there's some things you just shared that I'd never seen before. Like I love seeing that log scale, realizing how much on the bottom of that we are right now is insane. And I don't know, I can see the chat blowing up. So, bro, thank you. Thank you so much. Looking forward to more. I think who's keen for a bit more of that? Drop in the chat more if you would like to go deeper on what we just showed you. I can see Facebook Live lighting up as well, people commenting on there and in here. Guys, this is what we're about. This is why, like most of our community, when I got started with our academy, I got started primarily in the crypto space. 6 months only, just learning about crypto, went super deep and was able to set myself up. Like I've put some money in the right place, learned how that all works. So now I know how to interact with that space and build portfolios, and I've coached people in that. But then, for the last 2 years, while we were in a bear market, while prices were coming down, it's still good times to invest, but obviously less people paying attention. We pivoted to learning how to trade, how to make money whether things go up or down. But right now, obviously, as things begin to pick up again, we just want to make sure everybody in our community knows how to take advantage of this, because it is an unprecedented time in history. I don't think Mike mentioned it there, but if you don't know this already, it's a pretty huge deal this year. If you don't know much about Bitcoin, there's 4-year predictable cycles in crypto that are all governed by the halving, which is something baked into the code of Bitcoin, which happens once every 4 years. It causes a supply shock on something that is already a limited resource. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoins. And you don't have to necessarily have a whole one. You can have $10 worth of one. But my point being is it's deflationary in nature. Whenever there's less of something, it is worth more. And because of that halving effect, it causes the next 4-year cycle. And so that's happening in just like basically a few weeks, couple months from now. And so with that, we have the opportunity to get involved. So what is happening next to that? Well, we've got stacks of crazy elections going on all over the show. And we also have, 11 of the biggest financial institutions in the world, BlackRock being one of them, just getting their ETFs approved. If you don't know what an ETF is, go and Google it, Exchange Traded Fund. Go look at what happened to the price of gold after gold got given its ETF. It basically means that the whole world that has been hesitant about interacting with crypto directly, like here's a statistic for you, help me out with that one. There's a stock trading account for 1 in every 3 Americans. So 1 in every 3 are able to interact and buy or invest in the stock market, right? And that's how you can get access to ETFs. Now there's one crypto wallet for 1 in every 10,000 Americans. So to give you context, people are just a little bit hesitant. Like, how do I actually buy this stuff? How do I own it myself? Now, if people are investing in those ETFs, they're not actually owning any crypto, which again, we teach people how to do that correctly. So you can own and have custody of your crypto. If you don't have it in your own private wallet, it is not yours. It can be shut down, audited, taken away. We teach our students how to actually build your portfolio, keep it safe, keep it secure, keep it secret, keep it safe, to quote good old Gandalf right there. But with that, guys, we want to make sure you know how to do this. And so with those ETFs, it just means that now the masses have got a much easier on-ramp to throw huge money into the space. So it is an incredible time to be learning about this, guys. As you can see what Mike just showed there with those graphs, amazing in terms of like the lows that we're hitting with Bitcoin and Ethereum, and there's just going to be a whole lot more from there. And so guys, I've got a little bit more to share, but before we get there, got one of my absolute favorites, one of my besties who lives around the corner. When I first got into the space and started learning, this guy had already been in the crypto space for over about 6 years. But he saw how I started learning and accelerating in my, early months, and decided like he needed to plug in and take it to the next level. And so he did. And recently did something really special, which I think is going to radically inspire and empower you guys to what you can do in this space. And so guys, I need you to join me in welcoming none other than Etienne Small onto the Zoom with us tonight, my bro. So there you are. I'm going to add you to here. Bro, thank you so much. I know you were running this test in the background, you were doing these things and messaging me, and I'm like, man, the people need to know this. And so for those of you that don't know this man, he's an extremely clever individual, a great friend of mine. He's gonna shake his head. Extremely humble, then I'll say, but just someone that has been a part of our community here for over 2 years, been plugged in, has grown profoundly on the mindset stuff. He came with me to Miami this time a year ago. We were at an amazing event over there with Alex Morden, Ed Milet, Grant Cardone, and then again came with to Croatia in September. and has just gone all in on his personal development because a little cheat code for you. The quickest way to success is proximity to those that have it. And so he's just gone all in on that. But with that, he's really applied himself and taken the information we have access to another level. And so I'm really excited for him to share with us tonight. He's probably going to even screen share and show you a few nerdy things that I think are really going to inspire you. So enough waffling from me, bro. I'm going to hand it over to you guys. Drop some love in the chat for Etienne as we get going.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Thanks, Ty. You can hear me all right?
Yeah, perfect. Go for it.
Awesome. Hey, everybody. Yeah, thanks for that intro, Ty. For those of you who don't know me, you're missing out. Get in touch. For those of you who do know me, well, sorry about that. We can chat later. So yeah, where to start? Michael, thanks for sharing that those nuggets. Always love the idea of learning from you. Always bringing the source. And crypto at this point in time is in an amazing genesis moment. Well, not even a genesis, it's like almost like a rebirth that's busy happening. And to double down on what Ty was saying, I read an article this morning on Google where they said the current stats, and I mean, blockchain is public ledger, so you can go check this. There's about $3 billion worth of Bitcoins that have just been moved in the last couple of days to hardware cold wallets. So that's 76,000 Bitcoins. That's $3 billion worth that has just been put into cold wallets. Now, cold wallet is just a way of storing crypto long term. And second to that, like Ty said, ETFs, $27 billion into those ETFs. 11 of those, a month ago, they didn't exist. Now they hold $27 billion worth of funds, hard linked to Bitcoin. So that's an amazing spot to be in. Coupled with the fact that there's interest rate cuts potentially coming this year, the Bitcoin halving, there's so much attention on Bitcoin in terms of governance and compliance, and the banks are spinning up towards it. So it's really an amazing time to really sit up and take notice of what Bitcoin is about to do and what crypto is really about to do in this space. I just had a quick look while Ty was talking, and I just had a look on my email and found my very first Bitcoin transaction was 0.99 Bitcoin. That's almost one, back in 2015 November, and I bought that for the sum of about $500. So if I knew back then what I knew now, if I was plugged into this environment and this community and these educators back then, I probably would not have been having this discussion from lovely New Zealand, probably somewhere sitting in Miami. But yeah, man, that's like Michael was so rightfully saying, there's a foundation that's been sown into over so many months, so many years, and we are now starting to see that first layer evolving. Super exciting times, and that's why I'm also really excited to just sit here and say, thank you for this community. Thank you for these opportunities. Thank you, Ty, for just picking up the phone and reaching out. I think, like you said, I was probably part of the first 10 to join you. And, I'm not going to ramble on here about my story, but just at a high level, getting plugged into this community and education has drastically changed my life, has changed my wife's life. In terms of personal development, we've gone hard in on this. Especially like I said, 2024 is a year for 2020 more, and we're really intentional about it. My wife's been so intentional the last couple of months. It's been an absolute privilege to see her evolve and grow and progress, spinning up a community of amazing people around her. I have been very busy working. I work for a bank as well in the digital and technology space, so been hard there. But this year, been very, very intentional on targeting progress and growth, learning from pooling the resources that's at our disposal in this academy and in these people that we get access to. Amazing impact, and I'm super excited to see what 2024 is going to hold for all of us, not just myself and my family, but for all of us. So yeah, man, just very quickly, like Ty said, I've been in this space for quite some time. I've been trading for quite some time, and of late, realizing the progression that crypto is going through and the pace, and what is available in our community, I thought a bit of an experiment was it was quite good timing to just do a bit of an experiment to see whether new people coming on board can really find a way to earn and learn, because there's so much to learn. But let's face it, we all suffer FOMO in one way or another. So what I actually did, and I've got a slide deck that I'll quickly share with you. I went and I thought about the idea of empowerment. How do we empower, the community? How do we empower people that's joined to go on this earn and learn journey instead of an earn and burn journey? So that's quickly what I want to run through. It's an app that Ty will, like you said, he's going to take you through it. After me, he's going to give you a bit of a deep dive behind the scenes of what the app does, and how to use it. But I've been in the space for so long, and for me to sit here and say I'm getting value out of this, that's really saying something. Because when something is so simple to use that people that know what's going on sit up and take notice, it's really worth exploring a bit further. So I'm going to quickly share my screen. Let me just quickly share here. Apologize, my creativity was limited to 15 minutes. So yeah, man, this is kind of the experiment that I did. Intent there was exactly as you can see there, exactly as I was saying. How can we earn and learn instead of earning and burning? Simple principle, right? Let me just flip my screen here. Apologies. So what I was going for as a proof point is really saying, okay, so if the cost of a subscription, which is about $185, how can I make that potentially pay for itself, so that whomever is getting involved in this, whether you're involved already or you want to get involved, how can you put that money to work and at the same time use the opportunity to learn more about crypto? So I came up with this idea of the experiment. How can I proof point this? I put myself some constraints in, 15 minutes a day maximum, little to no trading experience, because you don't want to complicate things, and a low risk tolerance, right? So as traders, we always take a big focus. We always put a big emphasis on risk management. We are risk managers first and foremost, not just in our life, but in what we do. And then lastly, the criteria, right? Because you need an outcome. So I said there, how can I double a very small amount in 29 days? Is that even possible? So, well, yeah, you potentially could. And what I did, I mean, this is just a bit of a message that I sent Ty, and you can see there, I just said, hold on, if we can give this opportunity to people to learn about trading, learn about crypto, go on the self-development journey, how much more value can we add in there using the tools at our disposal? And this is what I came up with. I set myself this challenge, 1 to 2% risk, because that's what we teach, no more. Took a very conservative stance on the trades, minimum risk tolerance. Don't want to lose a large amount of money if the trade goes south, because that happens as well. Market is unpredictable. And yeah, this is a high level snapshot of where I started. So you can see my actual brokerage account there, and this is my personal account. So I mean, I'm okay to share that. It's not a claim for income. It's just an experiment that I did on a live account with real money. So there's real emotions involved. Started at $109. I gave myself 29 days, and you can see there within a period of 23 days, following the methods that have been taught to us and have been signaled to us, the ideas. You can see there, I took trades ranging from the 6th all the way to the 29th. And this is over December, by the way, which is probably the worst time of the month or the year to trade anyway. But I thought, no, let's go for maximum realism. And on the right there, you can actually see this is a bit of a view from my phone. It's just an app that we've used. And you can see my ending balance, $224. So it just goes to show that it is pretty much possible to get a small account to double and pay for your subscription, which will allow you, let's say 15 minutes extra, let's say 30 minutes extra, maybe an hour extra of your day, now that you've got a bit of a proven mechanism and a usable mechanism to cover your education fees, because that's what it is, right? It's an education fee, and actually move on with focusing, deep diving, jumping on the education sessions, deep diving into your trading journey. You know, if you're already on a trading journey, go deeper. If you're busy with personal development, go faster. So yeah, you can see there results. Again, I can't promise these results. This is just a bit of an experiment. 88% in 23 days, guys, girls. It's not simple, not easy. You know, you just need to find the time, go all in for 30 minutes. If you can go all in 30 minutes, just drop a 30 in the chat, please. If you can find 30 minutes in your day, drop a 30 in the chat. Let's see. Let's see how many people can find 30 minutes in a day. Here we go. Here we go. Not rocket science. So that is pretty much the Swipecoin app. You can see there at the bottom left, a little Swipecoin logo. It's part of our academy. It's part of our crypto stocks and crypto package. And it, for me, I've seen amazing results from it. Now, when I say amazing results, you have to also understand that the less time you spend on something, if you get results within 10 minutes of the same action that typically takes you 30 minutes, that's an amplification, right? That's a multiplier. So for me to go from spending 20, 30 minutes a day to just jumping on the apps, having a look at the ideas, doing a little bit of 5 minutes extra validation and say, yep, I agree with them, or no, I don't agree with them. Up to you. You can take what they give you verbatim, you can lock it in. And I'm going to quickly show you 2 slides of a 5-step process. Really simple. If you're in the app, if you're new to this and it's your first time, reach out to whoever invited you. Let them give you a quick demo. Let them give you a couple of intro slides and videos to come and have a look at the stocks and crypto module. It's not just crypto. It's crypto. It's crypto trading, crypto portfolio building, just like you would buy, build a shares and stocks portfolios, Tesla, S&P 500 stocks. It's the same principle. Really good ideas from highly educated people. So I'll rush through the next couple of slides. If this is a bit of a Greek for you, I apologize. For those of you who do know, awesome. So as you can see, step 1, you open your phone, you get a notification, the Swipecoin app, the educators give you an idea what they think the market is about to do, and you click on it. And in the middle, step 2, you have a look at the details they give you. They tell you what pair you want to trade at the top. There in the middle of the top, you can see it's a pair. So that was a Solana trade. It tells you it's on the 1 hour time frame. Bullish means it's going up, and it gives you the entries. So it gives you a bit of an entry zone, entry 1 and 2. It gives you a zone. It gives you invalidation level. So that's where you just set your stop loss, where you want to get out of the trade. And then they give you the take profit points as well. So it's pretty much there. You can just copy, paste it, drop it in your trading app, locked and loaded. What I do, I just take it 1 step further. As you can see, I use a lot size calculator to calculate my risk, because risk management 101, I don't want to go above the 2% mark. So I'll lock in my value. You can see I just used the Ethereum example there. I put my open price in, which you can get from the app. I put my stop loss in, which you get from the app, and your amount balance. So I just put in a random 109 there for the screenshot. 2% risk. You can see it pumps out a value, and you just put that into the app as well. Simple, right? 1, 2, 3. Then you get something that looks like this. Now, granted, this is an app that I use. You might use a different app. You might use a different app. But again, you open your app now that you've got the values. You hit buy or sell. Step 5, you lock in your stop loss and take profits. Again, it's in the app. You saw on that slide, they tell you what to do, and you're done. You can see there's an example of the 3 trade running because there was 3 take profits given by the app, and you effectively done. So if that takes you 15 seconds a step, you're done in less than 5 minutes. And then lastly, this is the last slide. This is what it would look like before. So this is a trading view app that I've used here just to show you. It's a charting app just to show you what that looks like. Because remember, there was 3 take profit levels. You enter three different trades. One to your take profit 1, to your take profit 2, and take profit 3. And you walk away. You go do a bit of meditation. You go deep dive into your personal development. You go make some breakfast and you carry on with your day. And then on the right is a bit of a screenshot several hours later, and you can see the trade actually ran from the entry zone. On the left, it ran to the take profit 1, it triggered, and it cashed out. So if you had a let's say $10 trade, you would get your $2 right over there. Sorry, $2 in your take profit 1, and your next take profit will cash out automatically. You don't have to do a thing. And if it runs further to your take profit 3, it'll kick in. If it pulls back into our stop loss zone, as you can see at the bottom, your trade will automatically close and you will minimize your risks. So that in a nutshell is the little experiment. And if you found it interesting, just drop a free in the chat for me. I can just see that everyone's awake and got some value. So yeah, just let's earn and learn together, not earn and burn, because even though I bought my first Bitcoin in 2005, I have made a lot of mistakes. And again, if I just had this community and this education and access to these people, I would have probably been a millionaire by now. But we are here, we've got it now, and we're ready to rock and roll. And I would highly encourage you to jump on this with us. It's been a life changer for me, for my wife, for so many families. And I can't wait to see what's coming out of 2024 for us and for yourselves. Here we go, Todd.
Thank you, guys. Keep dropping that love in the chat there for Etienne, man. Thank you. Thanks so much for putting in all that effort, for making those slides, for sharing your story, for being in our community, man. Just so grateful, man. I think let me see. I think I need you to unshare your screen so I can have it back. But there we go. Guys, that was so much gold. So if you've never seen that before, I know some people in our community may have already been on that app, but I just love how you broke that down. You had screenshots and everything of the app. So what it looks like on your phone, you were able to see. And so whether you have an Android or an Apple, it's going to look very, very similar. Go into your app store, your whatever store you get your apps, and just type in Swipecoin. Go get that app. You can download it right now. If you don't have a Stocks and Crypto Academy subscription, you'll be able to log into it once you have that. But get that app. So that's how that app is how I made my money in my first few months of being here. I spent my first couple months learning, zero expectation of earning. I was showing up to learn, some skills that I didn't expect to get rich quick by next Tuesday. But today is Tuesday, and it's an opportunity for you to just take your next week Tuesday and your next year seriously. Like this year in front of you. Like you've seen what's going on in crypto with what Mike shared and what Etienne spoke about as well. I'm going to screen share super quick and show you what it looks like to get access to everything that Etienne just showed you. And so he just showed you pretty simple what it looks like to actually run with that app and just use that app. But I'm going to show you one more thing. So let me get on there. I'm going to show you the latest trade that's coming through even with it. So you guys, let's go there. So there's my screen. That is the app, guys. So myswipecoin.im is the website version of the app. Let me just make my screen here a little bigger. But you can get it on the phone. You can get it on desktop as well. So once you're in here, you're going to see leverage ideas and exchange ideas. Those are the two big differences that you're going to learn inside of the Stocks and Crypto Academy. Exchange ideas are ways for you to basically tune in and build a portfolio. So our educators are going to talk about, like, here's XRP. They're sending this through. Guys, here's a zone. If you want to get involved in XRP, this is the buy zone. Somewhere in that 40 to 42 to 50 cent zone, that's a good time to buy some XRP. Because where has it been? Well, that take profit zone up there, $3.50, that's where XRP has been in the past. So there's an opportunity to get some XRP. So instead of you having to go research all the different coins, like if we go to coingecko.com, this is where you can go and learn to do some crypto research yourself. Our educators reference this website all the time. When it loads for me, something is going really slow with my internet suddenly. There we go. Sorry, I didn't click on it. You can see here a whole lot of info. You can see there's 12,500 different crypto coins out there. Good luck in researching those. Just so much information, guys. But basically, you're going to see the total market cap right here is 1.7 trillion in the crypto market right now. We've had over 3 trillion in the past. Crypto itself is sitting, where's Bitcoin? You can come in here and just learn, guys. You can come and learn. Like Bitcoin got $850 billion in it. It's not going away. Ethereum, 277. There's XRP right there, 29 billion, number 6. I was listening to Curtis Cobain, one of our educators, talking about Polkadot today in a lot of detail. $9 billion. Guys, these things aren't going anywhere. Let's just look at Polkadot for a second, because I have a lot of belief in this project. What do we find out here? Okay, it's $7 right now. What does that mean? Well, it means a little bit more when you look at the fact that the high price that it's had in the past. Did I just roll past it? Let's go down slightly. It looks slightly different here for some reason. There we go. The all-time high. There we go. $54.98. We're currently 87% down from the all-time high. Polkadot offers a lot of genius solutions to the marketplace in the crypto space. It provides a bridge for all the different crypto networks to get together. So it's 87, let me get that right again, 87% off. When's a good time to buy something? When it's discounted, not when the whole world's telling you, hey, this thing's breaking all-time highs. Guys, this is just an opportunity. You can come in, you can click on, you can be a part of our academy in here. You're going to learn. So if you're new, a lot of our students are learning, traditional day trading in the Foreign Exchange Academy. We learn from Jay, that guy at the front right here. He's live multiple times a week. When you're brand new, you're going to come in, you're going to watch that if you want to learn how to day trade on that side. A lot of our community does that. But on the stocks and crypto side, guys, you're going to click on here. And then, you're going to go and look at all these educators. They're all teaching about crypto live every day of the week. So I was on here, I was listening to Kurt today, Portfolio Watch. He's talking about Polkadot. So his most recent session there, 30th of the 1st, you can click on that and it's going to load. He's going to be, going on about all the different aspects of Polkadot. I'm not going to let it get into it now, but you can come in. He's got favorite sessions. So if you're brand new, like, how do I get this stuff done? Day 1, crypto security. That is where you start when you're new. You're going to learn how to do security. Now you can see these are all, everything's here. Security, Fibonacci, supply and demand. Like, you can take this as serious as you want. I have watched all this content like 2 years ago. So I learned a ton from this guy. But if you want to take this seriously, like if you want to set yourself and your kids up for and your grandkids, guys, like, how about this? Proverb says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Yeah, I bet some of you are still trying to figure out your own personal freedom, let alone your kids and your grandkids. But the way to do that is to actually learn to invest and put money aside. If you cannot afford to be investing money, whether it's stocks or crypto, if you can't afford that, I'm going to be brutally honest and say you're living above your means. Because the people that get wealthy, I mean, I can unshare my screen for a second for this part. The people that get wealthy have realized that they decide what they're going to save, what they're going to invest, and that determines their lifestyle. And by investing, they're putting money into something. Like, imagine, I mean, I'm sure, Etienne ourselves, we all wish we bought more Bitcoin in 2000 and, whenever, right? Like back in the past. But the facts are today is today. And you can look at it and think, man, the price is high. Well, it doesn't really matter for where it's going. The facts are to just get something, get a piece of something, get a little bit of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Polkadot, whatever it is you resonate with the most, whatever your risk tolerance is. You're going to learn how to build your own portfolio, but you can learn from our educators. So they've been a part of the space for way longer than any of us. And so then obviously teaching live, like I showed you on Go Live. And then what I was showing you that for was because inside of Go Live, right, you've got the educators breaking it down here. They're also breaking down how to trade. There's Jay teaching us how to day trade crypto as well. Mike Sotero, amazing guy I listen to. Corinne Florence, she's doing a special boot camp for our community starting next week. I'll share that with you in a second. But guys, the app, what I was talking about, there's XRP. These exchange ideas, guys, right here, these are all opportunities. ENS. Guys, this one that came through, that Mike Sotero sent through November last year, when ENS was sitting down there at $8, the third take profit was 20. It ran to 26. It did a 217% run in 60 days. There is an opportunity to triple your money at the moment. If you were investing, you say you put $100 into that, you turned your 100 into 300 in 2 months. So just paying attention, guys. And they talk to us about it. There's a whole chat in here with the exchange chat where they're telling us about the levels. They're going to tell you, hey guys, here it's hit the zone. You can exit, you can take profit. Getting back to that, the exchange idea. So this is building a portfolio. This is learning how to invest. Compound, FTM, Ethereum. There's Polkadot right there. There was an entry given a while back. Guys, these are all ways that you can learn how to build your own portfolio and build some legacy wealth. So one more thing, the leverage ideas. This is what Etienne was primarily focusing on. So these get sent through every other day, right? These get sent through, you're able to copy and follow. Here's the most recent one right here. There's one on Bitcoin. It came from the 29th of January. So that's basically yesterday. It shows the price. It shows the entry zone right here, the invalidation level and take profit level. So what does that mean? Well, here's a picture. Price was in that zone, in that box when this shot up on my phone. Anyone else that's got Swipecoin with these three important numbers. That one, if price goes that way, I lose my 1% that I'm risking on this trade. If it goes this way, I'm making, obviously more, 2%, possibly even 6 going that way, depending on how you manage your risk. Now check this out, guys. I took this on, I drew it on TradingView while Etienne was speaking. So here is that, this is Bitcoin right here. I'm looking at on a 1 hour chart. So every single candle that you're looking at right here represents an hour in time. This is when that idea came through. Price was in that zone. What happened? Well, if you entered a trade in that zone, price smashed through the first take profit, got to within a hair of the next one. But I mean, if you turn on what we use like Sniper Vision on a 15-minute chart, which is what we usually do, you're going to see that prices just come back to the average and it's setting up to possibly go up. But a trend force right there, which our community knows about. Check this out, guys. I want to zoom in. So what happens if we're on the 3-minute chart and we approach this like a trade that we know how to take? 3-minute signal, leaving the zone. We're already triple blue on the bottom right here. So as soon as we had those 3 lines all blue, we could have gotten in. You could have waited for it to break the orange line. As you can see, guys, you could have set this up even more advanced. So the app is teaching you at an entry level some copy and follow. But if you understand this stuff and you're part of our community, you could get in a little bit tighter. So instead of having that stop loss way down there, you learn, okay, below that low, price is left with triple blue. Let's see where this goes. And then suddenly, when you get to that first take profit zone, you're already at almost 3-1. And as price goes up, you can just see like there's a 5-1 trade. So what does that mean? That's turning your 1% risk from your account. So you got to say hypothetically, you've got a $100 account like Etienne was showing you, obviously add a 0 to your starting balance, add it to the finishing balance. If you've got a $100 account, you're risking $1 on this trade, but you're making 5. And that's your $5 that you've just grown your account by 5%. And you can go and test this out. You can go to the compound calculator site right here. Say your starting balance was 1,000, which, I recommend for most people, start a little bit higher. It'll feel a bit more significant. 1% per day. You're making 1% per day, not 5 like I just showed you, just 1. You do this for a year. We don't do it on, I want to go weekends. No, just say 5 days a week. That's going to give you 5% roughly a week. And you're going to turn your 1,000 into 13, guys. It's going to break it down for you monthly, what that looks like. And that's just you. So that's 1% a day. Bringing it back to the chart. For instance, that is what happens if for our strategy, it's usually a 1 to 2, right? Risk 1 to make 2. And we do this multiple times a day when we're trading. Risking 1 to make 2. So what happens if you lose 5 times in a row? You lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%. But if you win 5 times, then you're making 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 minus 5 is 5. So you're still ending up with what I was just showing you of that 5% roughly per week. So when I show you this compound calculator, guys, this is not unrealistic. What happens if you stretch this out for 2 years? Well, or you just double the interest rate to 2%. If you're making 10% a week, it's the same deal. But if you just be conservative, 1% per day, 5% a week roughly, that's you in 2 years. And that is completely, we've had people in our community do that in less than 6 months. And that's not normal, but we've had people do it. And guys, I'm going to unshare my screen here for a second, just to say your results in the space are going to be based on your effort, your focus, and your energy. Some people it's funny, right? Like you all love and appreciate my dad. He's added a ton of value. He jokes and says, you know what, for the first 3 months, I didn't really do anything. My wife signed me up. My mom signed up my dad. My mom wanted to learn about crypto. She's actually now started to trade a whole lot more. She follows the Swipecoin app. She's learned how to take trades herself. She took a win on Ethereum yesterday, and she's just learned how to do that. But what I mean? So dad didn't take it seriously for the first 3 months. I've known other people that took it very seriously in their first 3 months and made some money. So I say all that to say, if you want to change your life this year, you can do it if you're prepared to focus, if you're prepared to turn off Netflix and turn on Go Live. And just learn something new that's actually going to give you the life that you're hanging out for. I can tell you now, we all lean back and go, man, I wish I bought some Bitcoin 4 years ago. You're going to say exactly the same thing 4 years from now. you're going to admit, man, I wish I paid attention more on that one Zoom and decided to take action. So guys, with that, there's one more thing I'm going to show you super quick, and then we're going to close down the night. So I'm going to share my screen one more time. It's going to put on that compound calculator. And then, like I said, there's that trade that happened on Bitcoin. So you can learn, like, obviously guys, we know how to trade this at a much tighter way, but even if you were just following the educators, guys, there's that one. There was another one that came through on Ethereum that smashed all 3 levels, right? So leverage, if anyone took the Ethereum trade, I noticed this one down here, this one came in, price was down there, third take profit zone. If you go to the results tab, you'll see Bitcoin, I believe, there we go. That was the first take profit zone, 500 pips booked. Solana hit that one. I just skipped that one. There's got to be one for Ethereum, exit 2, 800. Where was the other one? There was one for ETH that was higher. Anyway, it says there 800 pips. You get the feeling. You get the idea, right? The app does that. There's one more thing inside this app, the leverage chat. As you enter these trades, no, there we go. He hasn't made a fly for it. Ethereum hit zone 3, 1400 pips done. So a pip is equal to whatever you want it to be, guys. If you've got a small account, a pip might be worth 10 cents. If you've got a large account, it might be worth $10. So it's all based relatively, we can talk about our trades with each other without talking about our bank balances. And so we measure our trades in pips. As a whatever we're looking at moves 1 point or 1 pip, same thing. You can make 10 cents, $1, $10, $100 even per pip. It's up to you and your account size. And so you can see in here, Bitcoin hit, there we go, exit 1, 500. There we go, another one from Mike. But there's gonna be something I'm looking for here. Let me see where it says, here we go. Ethereum update, trade idea is now running 100 to 200 points in potential profit. Depending on your entry, reduce your risk. What does that mean? Cover your entry in this case and then hold for the zone. Cover your risk means, this is what you can do, guys. Once price, say this was the trade we're taking. Once price, and let me just make this a little bit easier to look at. So once price left that zone, if I had a trade running right here, if price went down there, sure enough, I'd be losing that 1% we spoke about. As price begins to leave this zone and you get that text, that notification, you can take your stop loss, move it to that break-even zone. Now, if price slams down to that zone, you're losing nothing. It's a risk-free setup. As price goes up, you can keep moving that stop loss more into profit, more into profit. So it's not a stop loss anymore, it's a stop profit. And at this point, you're locking in gains, locking in gains, locking in gains as this thing begins to move. And you could have done that. If you're watching it closely, you could have been doing that. Obviously, you know, depending, this app, guys, is a little bit more set and forget. You get these notifications, you can follow it. But we want to show you tonight that you can literally just follow this app and pay for your subscription. So what does that mean? I mean, some of you don't even know what this is all about, right? If you're watching this for the first time. So I'm going to unshare my screen. Not going to show you more slides. The whole idea behind this, guys, IM Academy is where we learn everything. It's been around for over 10 years. It was launched on Independence Day 10.5 years ago. Our CEO was a pro trader for 20 plus years on Wall Street, had a vision to take Wall Street to Main Street. Came out of pretty much semi-retirement, launched this thing to educate people and empower people to become free themselves. And so with that, over time, students became educators. Now we have almost 200 educators, which are all vetted by the SEC. It took Jay a year to become an educator, 3 years of being a student and crushing it, and then an educator. And so they're teaching live. They're sending these trade ideas. They've got to submit their personal trading results every 90 days. Nick Gomez, who sends those trades for Ethereum, he was on a 16 win streak recently. Like, they never are that perfect, but he had a good one. So if you're just following Nick, guys, there's 16 wins in a row. And if you're making 1% on that per trade, I mean, you're probably gonna, you know, if you're risking 0.5%, you'll make 1%, maybe more. But if you're risking 1, you might be making 1, 2, 3% just by following those trades. And so I love what Etienne showed us tonight, that you can literally just follow that app. And when you get really good, you could follow that app, which is a swing trade, and learn how to scalp your way into that swing. Much tighter risk, much higher reward. We'll teach you all that on the inside. But guys, this is the journey that we're on. So if you're watching this and you're not part of our academy, you're brand new, get back with whoever invited you to the Zoom or share this recording with you. Guys, it costs in New Zealand dollars about $300 to get started. Maybe 400 if you want to go all in and get in a power pack and double down on learning everything that we're up to, so you can create multiple streams of income for yourself this year and really take this seriously. I can tell you now, guys, spending $300 to $400 on your education for 1 month, even if you didn't continue with us beyond that, then you can get a free subscription beyond that just by helping 2 other people get started. That's the 2 and free program. Etienne's idea of the 1 and free. Could I sign up? Could I trade with just a month's worth of value in my account and make more than that in 1 month? And so he proved that is doable. And so with that, I have one more announcement. I forgot. I'm sorry I said I wouldn't share my screen, but I have to show you the picture. We have got a 21-day boot camp starting on crypto very, very soon. So here it is. So guys, our educators, our leaders, Greg, Melanie Greeno, Richard, Shanda, Corinne Florence, one of our one of our crypto stocks and crypto educators, and myself and Jess, we're all a part of this. We've been doing this for a long time, but we've never done this before. We're putting together a 21-day boot camp. It's going to be starting next week on the 5th of February, which for us in New Zealand is probably going to be the 6th, Waitangi Day. And so what does that look like? There's going to be little bits of daily homework. Like Edian said, 15 minutes a day. What if 1 month from now, you are savvy with crypto, you know how to get in and out, you know how to build a portfolio, you know exactly how to take little day trades and copy and follow and do that, and you actually start making money online next month. It's pretty much February, right? So if you're interested in that, there's never been a better time to get started. That bootcamp is free for any of our students that are part of the academy. Amazing opportunity for you to just plug in and accelerate, guys. And so that's why for the last 2 months, myself, Damien, Mike, the rest of our community, Etienne, those of us that know about crypto have been screaming about it, because we need you to pay attention. We don't want you to look back a year from now and go, man, no one told me. Because that's how I honestly felt 2.5 years ago. And man, no one actually sat me down to tell me about this stuff. Because I knew people already that had made very, very decent money. I know one family that, they sold their house, they went all in on Bitcoin, and a few years later cashed out, bought 2 Audi Q7s, brand new out the box, and obviously a much better house. And so I say all that to say, your results will be based on your decision. So I want to encourage you, go away, make a decision, get involved. Heck, if you get started and you feel like it was just like, whoa, not for me, 7 days, you can get all your money back. And so there's that guarantee in place. I've never had anyone actually take me up on that except one who cycled back around to rejoin. He just got a little bit of cold feet in that first 6 days, worked on his mindset, rejoined, and is now running with us. And so I say all that to say, guys, I want you to take this seriously. Get back with whoever invited you here. If you're already part of our team and you want help with Swipecoin, again, we're here to help. Get on Go Live, start interacting with that app, get on the website as well, start copying those trades into TradingView and start demo trading, start following them. And then from there, you can start to make a whole nother stream of income for yourself. So right, guys, that is probably everything I have to say and more. We went a little bit longer than usual, but I want to say thanks for coming and hang out with us live this evening. Thanks for watching this recording, and we'll see you on the inside. Get back with whoever invited you here, jump in, and look forward to welcoming you to the team so you can make this year, 2024, the year of 2020 more. So with that, guys, thank you so much for being with us. We'll see you all in the chat. And with that, I'll say goodnight. All right. Good night, everyone.